Hi guys, welcome to Think Harder Politics. Today we're going to talk about impeachment. Why is it important? Well, this is the third time that a president is impeached. And half of the country seem to be in support of impeachment while the other half disagrees. And in fact, this has constantly been a so-called important question on the debate stage. So let's hear what Andrew Yang has to say during the fourth debate on impeachment.
People are demanding, they're the voice that counts, and that's who I went to, the American people.
Mr. Yang, do you think there's already enough evidence out there to impeach the president? Please respond.
I support impeachment, but we shouldn't have any illusions that impeaching Donald Trump will, one, be successful, or two, erase the problems that got him elected in 2016. We're standing in the great state of Ohio, the ultimate purple state, the ultimate bellwether state. Why did Donald Trump win your state by 8 points? Because we got rid of 300,000 manufacturing jobs in your towns. And we're not stopping there. How many of you have noticed stores closing where you work and live here in Ohio? Raise your hands. It's not just you. Amazon alone is closing 30% of America's stores and malls, soaking up $20 billion in business while paying zero in taxes. These are the problems that got Donald Trump elected, the fourth industrial revolution. And that is going to accelerate and grow more serious regardless of who is in the Oval Office. The fact is, Donald Trump, when we're talking about him, we are losing. We need to present a new vision, and that even includes talking about impeaching Donald Trump.
Congressman O'Rourke, on
Okay, so Yang had some excellent points here. So he's saying every time we talk about Donald Trump, we're actually losing because we're losing the opportunity to present the positive vision for American people. Because most people, they care about your policies, right? Not how you remove the current president. I mean, half the country disagrees with that. And the more you talk about removing Trump from the office, the more the Trump supporters or those independent, they would feel like the Democrat Party loses the confidence to beat Trump in 2020. That's actually a very bad image that they're painting. So this question has been asked again and again. And Andrew Yang said multiple times that whenever we talk about Trump, we're losing, even in the context of impeachment. But look at what happens during the last debate, the sixth debate, this past week. Okay.
To the candidates, last night at this hour, the House of Representatives voted for only the third time in American history to impeach a president. Every one of you was in favor of this action. But unlike 1974 and President Nixon, congressional Democrats have so far not convinced a strong majority of Americans to support impeachment of President Trump. Why do you think that is, and what can you say or do differently in the coming weeks to persuade more Americans that this is the right thing to do? I want to ask all of you to respond, but to begin with Vice President Biden.
Okay, so this is actually what I worry about, is that they would bring up the impeachment issue again during the debate, because this is a topic that will make you lose a lot of audience, right? A lot of those Trump supporters, I mean, half of the country basically disagrees with impeachment. And if you want to engage the whole country, the whole nation, this should not have been brought up to the table. Okay, there's already been enough coverage of impeachment the day before the debate. The media is all over the media, and this is just what Andrew Yang called we're losing, right? When we focus on this, and we just lose the opportunity to present the positive vision, and we lose those potential people who can potentially vote for the Democrats. All right. And before we listen to the answer from the candidates, actually, let's see what Trump thinks about about impeachment. Okay. Yeah. So let's see, Donald Trump reaction.
Oh, I think we have a vote coming in. So we got every single Republican voted for us. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Wow. Almost 200. We didn't lose one Republican vote. And 3 Democrats voted for us, Haley. Haley! Thank you, Haley. Great job. Wow. The Republican Party has never been so affronted, but they've never been so united as they are right now. Ever. Never. By the way, it doesn't really feel like we're being impeached. Do you? The country is doing better than ever before. We did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong, and we have tremendous support in the Republican Party like we've never had before. Nobody's ever had this kind of support. This lawless partisan impeachment is a political suicide march for the Democrat Party. Have you seen my polls in the last 4 weeks? Today I sent Pelosi a letter denouncing and condemning her party's outrageous abuse of power. That's what it is. They have nothing. They're the ones that should be impeached, every one of them.
So I have to, unfortunately, agree with a lot of Trump just said. The fact that no Republicans crossed the party line is very, very telling. This is truth telling. I mean, this is the most partisan impeachment in the history. This is the first partisan impeachment, right? All the Republicans stand with Trump. And even more, there are 3 Democrats who crossed the party line. And that's just the nature of the impeachment. I mean, it's the fact that this impeachment is actually doing good for Trump's reelection. Like Trump said, everything it's just becoming better. He doesn't feel like he's being impeached. In other words, Trump is happily being impeached, right? So the supporting rate is actually higher, and this becomes Trump's opportunity to stimulate his base, to galvanize, his supporters. So this is actually in agreement with Andrew Yang's worry about this situation, is that Trump will get a lot of attention, a lot of airtime, a lot of publicity, and that all those are bad for Democrats. And yeah, let's go back and watch what Andrew Yang said about impeachment this time. Okay, during the last debate, that was this past Thursday, the 6th debate.
It's clear why Americans can't agree on impeachment. We're getting our news from different sources, and it's making it hard for us even to agree on basic facts. Congressional approval rating last I checked was something like 17%, and Americans don't trust the media networks to tell them the truth. The media networks didn't do us any favors by missing a reason why Donald Trump became our president in the first place. If you turn on cable network news today, you would think he's our president because of some combination of Russia, racism, Facebook, Hillary Clinton, and emails all mixed together. But Americans around the country know different. We blasted away 4 million manufacturing jobs that were primarily based in Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Missouri. I just left Iowa. We blasted 40,000 manufacturing jobs there. The more we act like Donald Trump is the cause of all of our problems, the more Americans lose trust that we can actually see what's going on in our communities and solve those problems. What we have to do is we have to stop being obsessed over impeachment, which unfortunately strikes many Americans like a ball game where you know what the score is going to be, and start actually digging in and solving the problems that got Donald Trump elected in the first place. We have to take every opportunity to present a new positive vision for the country, a new way forward to help beat him in 2020, because make no mistake, he'll be there at the ballot box for us to defeat.
Thank you, Mr. Yang.
Yes. So Yang has warned people again and again, let's not talk about impeachment. But the moderators kept bringing up the issue. That's just very unfortunate. And in a sense, I think Trump is playing 4D chess, right? So he might have, set up this trap for Democrats. You know, he set things up so Democrats have to do it, right? Nancy Pelosi said we had no choice but to go through impeachment. And Trump knows that this will actually be beneficial to his campaign. Now he has a lot more to talk about, a lot more to stimulate his supporters, right? So as we can see that the Republicans are more unified than ever. And that's all working in Trump's favor. And Andrew Yang is one of the few that could see through all this. Okay? So in a sense, Andrew Yang is he's playing, 5D Go, right? While Trump is playing 4D chess. So Andrew Yang already sees through everything that Trump planned and hoped for. And there's one other candidate who could have also seen through all these, which is Tulsi Gabbard. So I'm going to play Tulsi Gabbard's response very quick. So that was when Tulsi Gabbard was interviewed by The Hill. And as we know that Tulsi Gabbard is, she voted present on impeachment. And he wanted to let the voters decide. So this is an interview by The Hill with Crystal and Saga.
Tell us what your thought process was here. How did you come to this decision?
Oh, first of all, throughout my life, whether it was through serving in the military and in the different decisions that I've made in Congress, I always think about what's in the best interest of the country. People will agree sometimes with those decisions, may disagree with those decisions, but my motivation is always coming from a deep love of country. And that's where, after doing my due diligence and going through the exhaustive report that was put out at the conclusion of the inquiry, I came to that conclusion that I could not, in good conscience, vote either yes or no. A no vote was unacceptable to me because Donald Trump is absolutely guilty of wrongdoing. A yes vote was unacceptable to me because impeachment should never come about as a culmination of a highly partisan process. This is something that our founders warned us about. Alexander Hamilton, he wrote very clearly about how his concern that the impeachment outcome would be determined by the strength of one party or another rather than by an examination of innocence or guilt. And that's why I believe so strongly that making this statement, voting present, taking a stand for the center, standing for our democracy, and really that this decision of whether to remove Donald Trump or not must be in the hands of voters. I believe that they will make that decision. I'm running for president to defeat Donald Trump.
I think Tulsi and Yang are the ones who are really getting the truth. They know that there's no way the impeachment would work. The fact that no Republicans crossed the party line is very telling. And we cannot have the fantasy that it will pass the Senate, because it requires, at least 20 Republican senators to cross the line, which would never happen probably. So let's conclude with Andrew Yan's response to impeachment after the debate.
Actually, just have a question. At the very beginning of the debate, the questions were about impeachment. And I spent time with you in Iowa last month. You mentioned this to me there, and you said it again now, and it's even more relevant. And that is, the Democrats are spending way too much time on impeachment. Now that the president has been impeached and it's heading to the Senate for a trial, do you still feel that way?
I've been campaigning nonstop since we spent time together in Iowa. I can't even remember anyone asking me a question about impeachment. Right. Americans are not focused on this in the same way that the networks are. And to me, there's just a crucial number of 0. That's the number of Republicans that have signaled that they're going to cross party lines, and you need 20 in the Senate. So until that number becomes greater than 0, unfortunately, this does seem like a foregone conclusion.
And do you still think it's hurting your party and whomever the candidate who goes up against Trump will be?
I was disappointed that I seem to have the lone difference of opinion up there, where everyone else was signaling impeachment. And when I talk to Americans, a lot of them are saying, look, I don't care as much about impeachment as the fact that I'm choosing between my drugs and my heating oil, or that my kid is depressed. Like, those are the issues that voters tell me that they're focused on, rightfully so.
But you say you said you have to stop being obsessed, was the word you used, obsessed over impeachment. Is that the media you're saying is obsessed over impeachment? I mean, this is the president of the United States who was impeached yesterday by the House.
It's okay, they can take it.
No,
yeah, you can, you know.
Well, you can't blame a TV network for saying impeachment is is like the news of the day, like all the time.
Sure.
Like, it is historic. As a candidate running for president, I need to be talking about things that are different from impeachment.
Do you think it will affect votes of moderates who might vote Republican, might vote Democrat? I mean, do you see it affecting?
What I see it doing is reinforcing polarization, and it's also a missed opportunity for candidates to present a unifying vision to the country that can peel off people who are independents or disaffected Trump voters.
So Andrew, you're making a marketing argument, and you're making, and it's a sensible one. But what do you do? I mean, there's a constitutional argument as well. And do you not pursue sort of blatant violations of the Constitution and the oath of office if there's not a interest among them in the market for it? I mean, where do you draw the line? How do you make those judgments?
I am pro-impeachment. I think that Nancy Pelosi did the right thing by moving it forward. I would say that I would be much more excited about impeachment if they'd managed to wrangle a Republican or two before they decided to leave the station, because it is a very poor message to the country where you have virtually all the Democrats on one side and virtually all the Republicans on the other. But I agree that Democrats did the right thing by moving forward.
Look, a lot of people are talking about impeachment. Nobody's talking about artificial intelligence and the actual national security threat that China's move in that direction poses. Nobody's talking about putting real cash in people's pockets. People talk about jobs. People got a bunch of jobs. They ain't got no money. You are somebody who's brought completely fresh thinking because you're so future focused, but you also have this grip on America's history as well.
So, yeah, these guys are like, I mean, Andrew Yang repeated over and over again, right? Every time we talk about Donald Trump, even in the context of impeachment, we are losing. Because, one, this is reinforcing the divisive nature of the nation, right? Reinforcing polarization. And two, it's a missed opportunity, right? We are missing the very precious airtime and opportunity to present the new solutions, the positive visions for American people. Because when Andrew Yang talked to, American people on the campaign trail, virtually no one asked about impeachment. People care more about things happens to their lives, right? So that's very, very different from what these talking heads are focused on or what the media is interested in. So I think it's been very clear that Andrew Yang has this right vision. I mean, he knows what this impeachment inquiry is going to do to the election, right? It's only going to help Trump. And that's why although he's pro-impeachment, he warned people over and over again, you should not fantasize that this would ever work. And we should laser focus on solving the problems or proposing the solutions that can solve the problem that got Donald Trump elected in the first place. But then they kept asking, so, what do you think about impeachment? And you say, oh, we're losing. Okay, please talk about impeachment. What do you think of the market from the marketing strategy point of view? That's just insane. All right, so I think that's it for today. Before I conclude, there's one person I talked to just randomly, and she said, "Oh, did you hear the impeachment today?" That was 2 days ago. That's so awesome. You know, Donald Trump is no longer going to be our president. He's not our president anymore. I was like, wait a second. Yeah, she literally said, you know, do you know Trump is not our president now? I was like, what? He is still the president. He's just, I mean, he went through this impeachment, but he is still the sitting president, and you know, there's almost zero possibility that this is going to pass the Senate. So he will still be the president. Andrew Yang already said, you know, we should be prepared to defeat Donald Trump at the ballot box. So this you can see that, you know, some people are just not well informed. I can't say they're dumb, but you know, they just totally misled by the media, right? So the media had all these news around all day long saying, oh, Donald Trump is impeached. That led to some people to think, oh, Trump is no longer the president. How ignorant is that? That's why somebody said ignorance is prevailing in this country. And that's probably one of the reasons why Trump is our president. All right. I hope you like it, and these things make you think harder. All right. Like and subscribe and comment below. Thank you.